We open our scene on a star. No, not that star. Not him. Not her either. No, but he is pretty cool. We open on this star. Hi. This star is unnamed, so let's call him B0B. B0B is special not just because he's cool, but because he, as a real star, has the potential to create every element on the periodic table through a process called fusion. B0B's life story is a bit different from Person's in many ways. As a baby, B0B existed simply as a cloud of dust and gas called a nebula. He hadn't grown dense enough to accomplish fusion yet, but he's getting there. Cut! When this nebula accumulates enough mass and density through gravity, it heats tremendously up to 15 million degrees Celsius and collapses. This creates a protostar, which is B0B's childhood stage. When our protostar has enough mass and gets heated up enough, we now see the adult stage, or the main sequence stage for the nerds. Only then does the fusion process begin. The protons, aka microscopic particles in the star's core, are condensed, making them bounce around really fast! I can't are they okay? The protons are like magnets. They avoid touching at all costs and bounce away before they get close enough to bond. Eventually, the star's core becomes so condensed that the protons have no choice but to combine into an element. This is fusion. We are soon given our first element, hydrogen. Sup? Hydrogen is later converted to helium. Hey! On average, stars take about 50 million years just to get to the adult stage. They will stay in this stage for billions more years. We're back. It's billions of years later, and B0B is running out of his fuel, hydrogen and helium. This makes B0B's core heat up and contract while outer layers expand and cool down. This is the oldie stage, scientifically referred to as the red giant stage, or the supergiant stage. I'm a giant! A red giant has less mass than a supergiant and ages more slowly. These stars can also fuse elements as far as the periodic table as iron. The initial mass of the star affects largely how it's going to go out, in a blaze of glory or just slowly fading away. If B0B were a low-mass star similar to our Sun, he would shed his outer layers, creating a planetary nebula, a cloud of dust and gas similar to the nebula he was born from. This would leave only his core, known as a white dwarf. Eventually, the white dwarf cools down and becomes a black dwarf, a cold, dead, lightless star core floating in space. High-mass stars have two much more interesting ways to go out. With a bang. Literally. That was a supernova, by the way. An explosion so powerful and dense it creates every element on the periodic table. Thank you, B0B! High-mass stars explode for two reasons. Running out of fuel, similar to the low-mass stars, and a buildup of iron in the core. Wait, did you think we were done just because the protagonist got blown to smithereens? No chance! Smaller large-mass stars become neutron stars after going supernova. A neutron star is very small, only 10 to 20 kilometers in diameter, and constantly emitting radiation. A neutron star gets its name because protons and electrons inside the star's core are combined so forcibly that they transform into neutrons. The second path a high-mass star could take is much more extravagant, flashy, and very aggressive. Of course you've heard of black holes. Who hasn't? But do you know how they form? Black holes are birthed when a colossal star collapses under its own weight and gravity. The collapse is so violent that it doesn't cease. Black holes continue to collapse violently, sucking up anything nearby. They even warp light itself so much that in the photon sphere you would be looking straight and seeing the back of your head. This is where we end. We have successfully followed the life of a star from start to finish and learned how B0B and billions of other stars manufacture every element that makes up the universe.